Dragged Across Concrete is a crime film and is directed by S. Craig Zahler and stars Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn. For those who are unfamiliar with the director's previous work, this is the same director who did Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99. And the one common characteristic that all his movies have is they all have a very slow pace to them. And for some people, that can either be a good thing or a bad thing. And honestly, I was not a big fan of Brawl in Cell Block 99. I found that film to be downright boring. And with Dragged Across Concrete, yes, while it is slow and a little bit boring, I was able to tolerate it more. I will say, however, that this film did not need to be as long as it was. This film's runtime is almost the same length as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but at least with that film, the pacing was perfect. Not once in that movie was there a dull moment. But with this film, you could have easily taken 20 minutes off of it, as there was a lot of pointless detours that had no major effect on the overall plot. In fact, one of these detours is a person who's reluctant to go to work, and while it is a great character scene, it was ultimately pointless as it had no impact on what happened later in the film. But yeah, besides this film being way too long, I thought it was okay. Pretty much this is how I thought of the film. The first act was okay, the second act was a little bit meandering, and the third act was just fantastic. And the film as well had a very solid cast, not one actor gave a shit performance. And easily the highlights of the film for me was the chemistry between Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn. Every time these two were together on screen, the film was just great. And I honestly want to see these two actors team up for a comedy, because the banter they had back and forth between each other was just hilarious. However, when the film focused on other characters, that's when the movie became a little bit meh. And like I said, none of these actors gave a bad performance, but none of the characters hooked my attention more than Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn. The third act of this movie, like I said, is just fantastic, and one of the big reasons why I would recommend this film. The way this entire act was executed was just very well done. The cinematography, the editing, and the acting were very much on point. Overall, if you're not a fan of films that have a very slow burn to them, then I would not recommend this film. However, if you are a fan of Zahler's previous movies and you like films that have a slow burn, then this is definitely a recommend. And while the film does take a long time to get to the point, I still found myself to be enthralled by this. Like I said, the chemistry of Gibson and Vaughn is just great, and the third act definitely made up for how down the middle this film was for the most part. In the end, this movie was pretty good, I just wish it wasn't as long as it was, and some scenes and characters could have been elaborated on better, and I'm going to give Dragged Across Concrete a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel below. As always, I'm NETX5. Thank you for watching.